Welcome to our sixth training meeting on how to develop, market, and sell your product or service as an entrepreneur. My name is Simon Mbui Kaekesi. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time. So what we have been looking at for the past meetings has been an aspect of how to develop, market, and sell your product or service as an entrepreneur, in brackets as an employer. And I also am cognizant of the fact that almost every now and then there are new members who are joining the class or the training. And being a teacher by training, I believe in making sure I give some prerequisites or some remind. In fact, no, prerequisites are those which at least those who have already been with me for some time already have, and even a number of you already have some knowledge of what we are talking about. But then what I need to do is to give a recap. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. I need to give a recap for the people who have just joined us, so that together we can be able to move and be able to go forward together. So basically, we've been starting with some two slogans. And the first slogan is, do I own value to be exchanged for value in the marketplace? And basically we are saying, I need to possess value to exchange it for value in the marketplace. This is a summary of what we are talking about concerning product development, marketing the product, and then selling it in the marketplace. In the sharing that we have had, I've said that the man called Jim Rohn, I've talked about him in my book, my first series book, the Employer in You series 1, repositioning yourself from having an employee mind to having an employer mind. What I've talked about in chapter 12 is that the market pays you for value, quoting a man called Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn has said, the market does not pay you for your time, the market pays you for your value. So what we are talking about basically is that each one of us, you and I, we need to be asking ourselves a question, and the question is, do I have value? Do I own value to be exchanged in the marketplace? So basically, you and I need to possess value to exchange it for value in the marketplace. And the other slogan is, do I want to be wealthy on earth? That is, do you not want to be wealthy? Some people, from their behavior, from their talk, from their thinking, from their actions, it just tells you that actually they do not want to be wealthy. But if you want to be wealthy, or if I want to be wealthy, here on earth, I have to own a product, own the marketing, own the sales, and own the profits. So here we are talking about ownership, ownership, ownership. It's beyond simply wealth creation. There is a story out of which I crafted the title, the Employer in You. This story is in Genesis chapter 30, chapter 29, chapter 30, up to chapter 31. In Genesis chapter 29, verse 15, Jacob was introduced to a wage. So he worked very hard for his uncle. He was creating wealth for his uncle. He did a turnaround in his uncle's enterprise, his uncle Laban's enterprise. But then himself, he was placed on a wage. You remember we have already established our equation. Profit is equal to revenue minus cost. And so what Jacob did was that he positioned himself in the cost position. Even when he was creating wealth, he never owned that wealth until in Genesis chapter 30, from verse 25 to verse 43. That's where now the what I call the wealth ownership drama had to take place on the part of Jacob. So Jacob repositioned himself in his mind. He realized that if you are not in the position of ownership, you shall be, like I've been talking about the Chokwe saying, which says that a chicken without eyes scratches for others. A chicken without eyes scratches for others. There's also another saying among the Chokwe saying, Kandanji Wemba, bongo jachilombona, meaning that to say the circumcised when they come out of the bush among the Lundas, Luales, and those people who do circumcision, especially in Northwestern Province, and of course our neighboring countries, when they come in the village, it is their mentor who collects the money, and then the circumcised boys would be dancing, and they don't really get the money that they dance for. So if you are not in the position of ownership of a product, and you don't own a product by just, for example, putting your name on a book, and then you end up being given 4%, and then the people who have come in the upper market end up getting 96%, then it is still a problem. So it is not just about you owning a product. You need to own the marketing, own the sales, and own the profits. So basically, we have been talking about you becoming a business owner, owning a business, and this is the mind of God for you and me, as portrayed in the Bible in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 through to verse 30. And so basically, we've been saying we need to move from product development to putting money into your pocket. And for us to move into product development, to putting money into our pockets, we need to engage in what I have come to call the Trinity, the product Trinity: product development, product marketing, and product sales. So this is what we have basically been talking about, and we looked at the first part where we said use God's heaven, earth, creation trinity for your product development, marketing, and sales. In this case, from Proverbs chapter 3, verse 19 to 20, by wisdom, the Bible says God founded the earth. Through understanding, he established the heavens, and through knowledge, he was able to make divisions. And then in Proverbs 24, verse 3 through to 5, it is talking about by wisdom, a house is built. And I have equated a house in this context to a business house. So you want to build your business house, use wisdom. Do you want to establish your business house? Use understanding. Do you want your business to fill your business house with rare and precious treasures? Then you use what? Use knowledge. And that's where we've been saying that knowledge makes you fill your business house with rare and precious treasures. And the equation which I've continuously been quoting, reality plus preciousness is equal to value, which is equal to worth, which is equal to wealth. So you have to make sure that your product or service is rare and it's also precious. You have to put in the aspect of uniqueness. So we need to imitate God in that area. Then we talked about you knowing the two sides of why of the product development, marketing, and sales with regard to benefits. So we had the two big the two big product benefit questions. What are the benefits to me as the producer of the product, and what are the perceived benefits to the consumers or buyers of your product or service. So then we went on to talk about know why you should develop, market, and sell a product or service. And we talked about the love your neighbor as you love yourself principle. That is offering value to the market and to yourself, unique, precious, rare value, such that people should have a reason. Like I remember one of the participants summarizing up in the second session last time, that there must be a reason for people to pay you their money, a reason for you to be given money. Again, another person has said that if you want people to, if you have value, you'll be able to be picking money from people's pockets without them calling you a thief. So basically, that's what we have been talking about. We went to talk about value your value. Don't devalue your value. Value your value highly. And on this one, I've said, for example, an employee devalues himself or herself by locating himself or herself in a cost position. That was the case for Jacob. But when he placed higher value on himself, then he increased his bargaining power, and Jacob relocated himself from the cost position to the profit position. And that's where the Bible in Genesis chapter 30 verse 43, it tells us that Jacob became wealthy, and his wealth was as a result of him changing his position. So basically, you need to place higher value on yourself. And then we talked about you aiming for product sales as the ultimate. If you have products and which you never sell, then that is a big problem. And that's where marketing becomes the intermediate big issue that you have to do. And I've been saying that you need to conquer the monster called marketing. It's not only you, including myself. I need to conquer the monster called marketing. And why should you aim for sales ultimate? For sales as the ultimate? Because if you can't sell, you may end up sleeping hungry. Unless there are well-wishers out there, like in our country in Zambia, where you'll be saying, Boma Yanganepo, maybe that way, let the government do something. You now go on to the welfare aspect. But if not, you must make sure you sell something out there. And then I think this is where we ended there, being conscious of being a problem solver using your value. Be a problem solver. Be conscious of being a problem solver using your value. What we established the last time we met on this one is that, for example, the Bible is a problem-solving book. It is a prescription of solutions. Whenever there was a problem, that problem was solved. And I talked about Genesis 1 verse 2 as being the first place where we see God himself, Elohim, the creator, displaying, showing his capacity to be able to solve problems. So in Genesis 1 verse 1, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And there's a full stop there. Now, verse 2 presents a problem. It presents a challenge that God was able to face. The Bible says the earth was formless. It was void, meaning empty. And darkness covered the surface of the deep. And then God, God started by dealing with the last problem, which was the problem of darkness. And I was saying that darkness is connected or equivalent to ignorance. Don't do business with ignorance. Don't go into product development, marketing, and sales with ignorance. No. And I have seen people, I call it defending ignorance. Please don't defend your ignorance. Make sure you go into something. In the course of today, someone sent me an SMS and wanted to know about pineapples. I think he knows that, of course, since I'm connected to where pineapples come from. And this person was asking me to give him guidance. And I was quite clear with this person. I said, I'm sorry. I am not the right person to give you, to help you with information on pineapples, because I have scanty information regarding pineapples. I don't have that information. So please be conscious of you solving a problem. You are born to be a problem solver. So what we saw about God was that he started with light, and from light, he now went to populate. And then populating the earth. Let there be the firmament. Let there be this. Let there be this. Let there be fish. Let there be cattle. And in Genesis 1, verse 26, he now went into one of the, I think his most, in my opinion, his most important development. And that was man. Because whatever he was doing it for you and me, capacitating you and I to be able to become problem solvers, and also in that case being product developers. So he said, let us make man in our own image, after our own likeness, and let them have dominion. And we established that in Genesis 1 verse 28, God capacitated you and I with a blessing, the capacity to solve problems. Because him in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, when he was faced with a problem, he did not join the complaining camp. Like is the case, people have to look for news, to look for this and that, to look for statistics on COVID, whether they have increased or they have reduced, and so forth. Now, the whole point is that God was able to do what? He was able the Bible says the Spirit of God hovered over the surface of the waters. And that is the capacity to look at problems, incubate those problems, and come up with solutions. So so that's the thing, that you were born a problem solver. Therefore, we have to use what I've called the go into the world to solve problems principle. So go into the world. God created you and I to come here on earth, to be problem solvers. The same way he was able to solve problems, the problems or the challenge he was faced with in Genesis 1, verse 2. So from Genesis 3, going up to Genesis 1, verse 3, going up to Genesis 1, verse 30, God there was giving solutions. So you and I, in our product development, product marketing, and product sales, we need to learn from God. So basically, I touched a bit on the fact that product development, marketing, and sales is basically about problem solving. And this is what I'm talking about. Product development is basically about creating, making, building, and establishing a solution to be exchanged for value in the marketplace. Product development ranges from having a business idea to solve a problem challenge in the market by devising a solution and devising a solution and combining resources together to build or make that product or service after adding value to resources, mixed in readiness to be exchanged, in readiness to exchange that value for value in the marketplace. That is quite mouth. Of course, we can be able, as we go on, to break that in some session, hopefully as we go on. So basically, product development is about identifying a problem in the marketplace and devising solutions for such problems and challenges. I know one of you was able to ask in the second session as to how do you do that? How to identify, develop and market, how to identify a product to develop, market and sell. And I outrightly have given an answer that actually for you to identify a product, start by identifying problems, identifying challenges, because business is about problem solving. It's about dealing with challenges in the marketplace. But I said that, please, you were not meant to be a person to solve all the problems, to run around with all the business ideas here on earth. This is where I talked about a man called Brian Tracy, with his 4 aspects of specialization, segmentation, differentiation, and concentration. Learn to concentrate on certain areas. One, of your capability. Secondly, even of your interest and your passion. And also those areas where you have carried out a market research to know that there are buyers out there. Don't just go into it unless, like I've been saying, you are doing it like a hobby. Yes, you can do anything you feel like doing because you are not going in for profit. But if you are going in for profit, you need to make sure that you identify, you look at the end. That's why I've been talking about Isaiah 46 verse 10, that God, our Father in heaven, he wants us to behave like him. He sees the end from the beginning. See the end. And the end result for us in what we are saying is the sale. But that sale should not be at a loss. The end result should be profit. And when we have profit, we should now be able to grow our profitability. And then we keep on selling, we keep on going through a cycle of selling. I'm imagining now when Coca-Cola went on the market, I think I was not yet born, but Coca-Cola continues selling and selling and selling together with Fanta. In fact, before this meeting, I was just taking a Fanta, and I was just taking a Fanta. Here's a bottle of Fanta. This came into being even before I think some of us were born. And it has been there for a very long time. This is an aspect of sustainability of your product. How is your product going to be sustained? So basically, that is the most important things: profitability of your product, and also its sustainability. Basically, your product has to be sold, and it has to be sold and where you end up making profits. Okay, and I think basically we are saying problems and challenges are the foundation of business. Every challenge, somebody has said, I think Jeff Walker has said, every challenge has a seed of opportunity in it. Every challenge has a seed of opportunity in it. So look for a seed of opportunity in that challenge. Look for a seed of opportunity in that challenge, so that you may be able to say, what can I be able to solve out of this opportunity? What solution can I give? For example, a problem of thirst means that people need water to drink. Okay? The problem, I think, like in this year, 2020, the problem of COVID meant that people needed to wear what are they called, masks. And I believe those who went into that, making those, Musk ended up making making money. So basically, we need to know we need to make sure that we understand what is it that what opportunity is there out of the problems that we are out of the problems that we are facing around in the community. What problems are around me, and what problems can I be able to solve, and then enable me to make money. So basically, you are moving from problems or challenges to business problems or challenges to business opportunities, from business opportunities to business idea, and then from there we go into the business vision, and then we go into production, then we go into distribution, then monetization, and monetization, and then we go into profits or dividends, then we go into wealth ownership, and then wealth distribution. So we have to go into such. So we have to go into that. So what I'm saying, for those of you on Zoom who are able to see from the screen, I'm saying you start from the bottom, problem solving or challenges, then business opportunities, then you go into a business idea, then now you develop your business vision, and then you go into production. This is now developing your product. And then from there, you go into distribution, which in this case is marketing, part of marketing. And then from there, now you go into monetization. This is where now you are selling, and this is the sale. And then we are saying sell at a profit. And then, because why should you sell at a profit? You want to go into not only wealth creation, but to go into wealth ownership. And why do you want to own wealth? Because you need to distribute that. You need to distribute that wealth. So this is how I have summarized the process of product development, from product development to putting money into your pocket. Now, you are not just putting this money into your pocket for the sake of putting it into your pocket, but you need to use now this money to go into you having assets, and those assets are the ones that make you to be wealthy. And at the end of the day, ultimately, you need to go into wealth distribution. I think people like Bill Gates, you hear them having something called the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation. So you and I need to reach that stage where we should be able to be saying we should be able to be saying maybe yes, not maybe. We need to have actually something called the Kayekes Foundation, or put your name there, a foundation that will come as a result of you developing a product, taking it to the market that is marketing it, and then going into sales. Why should it only be the Melinda and Bill Gates, and not Queen and Simon Kayekes Queen and Simon Kayekes Foundation? You make sure you put at least the name of your wife. Yes. So why only Bill Gates? Why not you? I think I remember listening to one video now saying, why not you? And then the next question was, why not now? But the first question was, why? Then if my memory serves me right, why? Next is, why not you? And then the next is, why not now? So for Bill Gates, he went into developing a product that ended up, I think even what I'm using now, I have Microsoft on the computer. So that is the product for Bill Gates. What is your product? What is my product? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. And Bill Gates was able to solve problems. Toyota, for the Toyota cars, was able to solve the problem of traveling. What is what problem are you solving? Right. The next thing taking us further is that you need to look at your product as a solution in the marketplace. Your value offer. I think this is basically similar to what we are already talking about, where we are coming from. I'm just building up on that. You have to look at your product as a solution in the marketplace, as a solution in the marketplace. For example, my book, The Employer in You, is offering a solution. It's offering a solution in the marketplace, and mine is offering a lack of knowledge solution, according to Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are perishing for lack of knowledge, But then, of course, there is a bigger problem in Hosea 4, verse 6, like we have indicated in the past. They are perishing because they have rejected knowledge. But then yes, they have those who have rejected knowledge, they are perishing. Now, market pays you for your value. Offer value out there in the marketplace. You need to offer value in the marketplace. So what is your value? What is your value? What will be the mix of your value? But how are you going to differentiate yourself from the value that other people have put on the market? Like I have talked about Brian Tracy in his book, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. I've talked about the 4 aspects about you specializing, you going into segmentation, you're going into differentiation, and you're going into concentration. So of your value, you develop your value. Of course, they say Rome was not built in a day. Yes, you have to start from somewhere. I've been talking about the fact that, again, in my book, I've talked about the Zambezi River, that it starts small, and that big things start small. If you go to my home area where the Zambezi River starts from, it is a small thing, but just when it reaches my village, we even have hydropower from the Zambezi River. I was not long ago in Lukulu, and there I was able to eat, the nice fish from the Zambezi River, and which has actually enlarged. And there you have the Komboka ceremony, and then we have hydropower that is distributed to the country, and then it goes on and goes on like that. So basically, learn to start small. Big things start small. So look at your product as a solution in the marketplace. That's why you need to value your value. Value your value. Value your value because you are offering value in the marketplace, and the market pays you for your value. The market is there to get your value, and that's how the market can be able to give you and I the money that we need, the wealth that we need. The wealth that we need is in the people who are in need of value. And the people who are in need of value are the people who want to solve their problems. Each day they are faced with problems. So you need to make sure that you are there, you specialize in problem solving. Actually, man was brought to earth by God to be a specialist in problem solving. Please quit the complaining camps, the camps of lamentations from morning to time when you go to sleep. You collect news for purposes of lamentations. No, collecting news for purposes of product development if you have to collect news. And then quit the camp of complainants, quit the camp of people who are full of lamentations. Move from writing books of lamentation to writing books of implementation, where you end up developing a product or products and take those products to the market and sell so that you become rich. God bless you. You can, for those of you on Zoom, you may join me in the next session for us to be able to go into question and answer or contributions. God bless you. You are still in. Can you give me feedback? Let's continue, because at a given point, I'm advised that we had disconnected and we ended up reconnecting. We had some technical challenge. So please, you are welcome. I don't know who is starting. Start by raising your hand so that you can ask a question or be able to make a contribution. Yes, who is raising his or her hand? Raise your hand. Okay, is that, yes? Is that Jaire? Jaire, you wanted to make a contribution? Hello?